Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to 10 Living Books. My name is Yari, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some of the books that I would like to reread. So I've seen a few videos lately like this, or people are just talking about some of their favorite books that they would like to reread in the future. So I decided that because there are quite a few books that I want to reread, so I decided to film a video of my own. So here we are. So most of the books on my list are actually series, so I would like to read all the books in the series. So when I talk about a series, I'm just gonna mention the first book. Okay, so let's get started. So the first book that I would like to reread in, it's a series, that is Three Dark Crowns by Kendall Blake. This is the first book in the Three Dark Crowns series, the first book being Three Dark Crowns, the second book being One Dark Throne, the third book being Two Dark Reigns, and the fourth book being Five Dark Fates. Hopefully I got those all right. This series is about this place called Fenburn Island, where in every generation there are triplet queens that are born, and they each have some sort of magical ability. So in this book we follow Katarine, who is a poisoner, Mirabella, who is an elemental, and Arsenal, who is a naturalist. So each triplet queen is raised by the group of people who have their same ability, and on their 16th birthday a event called belting takes place, and this is when this whole thing starts where they have to fight to the death to see who gets the crown, because only one of them can actually be crowned the queen of Fenburn Island, and the other two can be alive. This was truly just a ride from beginning to end. I really do feel that as the series went on, the books got better. So I do want to revisit our queens on Fenburn Island and experience this again, especially after reading the last book and knowing everything that happened. I would love to revisit and just get to know these characters all over again. And I feel like the second time around I might appreciate the story a bit more. The next book I'm going to talk about is a standalone, and that is A Short History of the Girl Next Door by Jared Reck. This is his debut novel, and what this book is about, it follows our main character Matt. Yes, Matt. I follow him in him trying to live his teenage life, and the fact that he has a crush on the girl next door, but they're also best friends, so you know the complications that comes with that. But there's so much more to this book. Like it's very emotional. Some of the things that happen, like I honestly cried reading this because it was really heartbreaking. So you go into it thinking a little bit like it's gonna be like light, but it's not. It's like really emotional, and some of the things that he had to go through are like really hard things, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Matt. I actually got an arc of this book when I went to BookCon a few years ago, like right before it actually came out, and I got it came in a box. So it came with one book and then another arc that you could get, but there were like multiple possibilities of a book you could get, and I ended up getting this book. This is the finished copy because I liked it so much. I actually read the arc, and I liked it so much that I wanted to get a finished copy of it. It's really good. I really recommend it if you want to read like young adult contemporary. It's really good. Very emotional, so make sure you have a box of tissues near you because you will cry. The next book on this list that I would love to reread is Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Madovsky. So this is a book about this girl and her friends who they are obsessed with a boy band called the Ruperts, so they decide to get a hotel room in the same hotel that they're staying, and they pretty much just want to meet him, but things go horribly wrong. I'll read you the short synopsis because It's everything. So you could just get like a better idea what the story is about. So it just says, just know from the start that it wasn't supposed to go like this. All we wanted was to get near them. That's why we got a room in the hotel where they were staying. We were not planning to kidnap one of them, especially not the most useless one. But we had him, his room key, his cell phone, and his secrets. We were not planning on what happened next. We swear. Like, if that does not entice you to pick this up, I don't know what will. I really enjoyed I did read this. I listened to the audiobook, and if you got the audiobook, you're gonna have I had to speed it up a lot because the narrator spoke really slowly, and it was like I had to speed it up like a lot. Like, I think I had it faster than 2 times. Yeah. But anyways, this book was really good. A lot of twists and turns. Really enjoyed it. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest it. And I'm really excited to, whenever I can, to pick this up again, because there are a lot of things I forgot about that happened in this book. And yeah. And if you guys don't know, I love the Backstreet Boys, so they're my boy band. So yeah. So I relate a little bit to these characters, but not a lot, because what they do, I'm not gonna tell you, but what they do. Oh, before I put it away, like, look at this book without the dust jacket. Look at it. So pretty. The next book on this list is part of a series as well, and the main reason I want to reread this series is because Netflix is adapting it into a movie, at least the first book. I guess we'll find out if they adapt the other books depending on how the first movie does. But the book I'm talking about is The Selection by Kiara Cass. This book is about a girl named America Singer, where in this world they are separated by caste. I can't remember which caste she's in, but she's pretty low, but not like completely at the bottom. There is this character, a prince Maxon, and it is time for him to have his selection, where 35 girls are selected to go to the palace, the castle, whatever. The things the castle. Wait, or is it a palace? Whatever. The royal family lives, and so the 35 girls are chosen, and he has to pick one to become his queen. So there's also like some like political things are happening, but this is just like a really like not light. This is like, it's not something that's like really like intense and heavy. It's just like a fun read. It's compared a lot to The Bachelor meets The Hunger Games. I could kind of see The Hunger Games, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it's compared to. I'm sure you guys have heard about it because it's when did this come out? Like 2012? Yep, 2012. So this has been out for a while. I'm pretty sure you heard of it. Now the next series I'm gonna talk about is The Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz, which these books are, what's that word? They go along with the Descendants movies. So you read the first book, watch the first movie, then you read book 2 and book 3, then you watch the second movie, then you read the 4th book, and then you watch the 3rd movie. But yeah, I had so much fun reading this series, and I would love to watch it. I would love to read it again from the beginning, and watch the movie, read the books, and watch the movies in order, because they're not like the best like cinematic amazing movie, but I love those movies. So yes. Now with this one, I want to reread like 2 out of the 4 books, but I probably will read eventually at some point in my life. Will reread these 4 books, and the books I'm talking about is the Red Queen series. The first book being Red Queen, second book Glass Sword, third book King's Cage, fourth book War Storm. yeah, so this is a book about our main character, Mare. In her world, they are divided by blood. There are the red blood and silver blood. And the red blood, they're like the regular people. And then the silver people, the silver blood, they're the higher ups, like lords and stuff, kings and queens. And then they also have magical abilities. So one day Mare ends up finding herself in front of the king, and she's a red blood, but when she's in front of the king, she ends up realizing that she has magical abilities of her own. But how can that be? Because she has red blood. That's a little bit of like what this series is about. I did fairly enjoy myself reading this series, especially my favorites are the first book and the third book. The second and fourth weren't the best. The second book, it was mainly because it had a little bit of second book syndrome, and then the fourth book, I felt like it was longer than it should have been. But anyways, but I am still intrigued to read. I'm so interested to reread the series. Yes. And the last series that I'm gonna talk about, I'm actually going to be rereading starting next month. And that series that I'm talking about is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. The first book being Cinder, the second book Scarlet, third book Crest, fourth book Winter. So this series is about, it takes place in the future where there is actually, okay, I just gave you a short synopsis. This book, it's a Cinderella retelling where Cinderella is actually a cyborg. So what's involved in this series is sci-fi for one, and there is a plague that's going around that is killing a lot of people, and they are trying to find a cure, and they are testing cyborgs to try and find a cure. They're testing cyborgs, but there's so much more to the series. There's like this side like mystery, if you will, element to it. It's really good. I really flew through the series. I'm so excited to read it again. So the reason I say this for last is because I'm gonna be rereading this series during the summer, because if you don't know, I despise the summertime. I do not like the heat. So I thought this was the best time to read this because it's one of my favorite series, and I was like, oh, if I read one book a month starting from June, it will get me through the summer, and I'll have something to look forward to every single month until the end of summer and the beginning of fall, which I love. So yes, I'll be rereading Cinder in June. In July, I'll read Scarlet. In August, I'll read Crest, and in September, I'll read Winter. I'm so excited. If you would like, you can join me in my reread. I don't know if I'm gonna do like anything like, actually let me know if I should do like something to go along with this readathon or reread. Like maybe I just do like, oh, maybe I will, maybe I'll do like spoiler vlogs for each book. That could be interesting, I think. Or I don't know, give me your suggestions down below, if I should like do something, or I don't know, just leave me your suggestions so I can, yes. But anyways, that is it. Those are all the books I would love to reread. Let me know down below what books you would love to reread, and if any of the books on my list are on your list. And yeah, so like always, like this video if you enjoyed it so I can know what kind of videos I should post on here. And all of my social media links will be linked down below in the description box. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to become a member of our little family here on Tangled Up in Books. And I'll catch you guys here next time. Bye!